Welcome back to the show, guys. Catalyst Scalpers Live. We do this every morning starting at 7:30, Monday to Friday, where I bring you guys all the hot news, and then we jump into the charts and find those key technical levels to take those trades off of. What's happening, guys? Thank you so much for the likes. Thank you so much for being here. You have no idea. It's just amazing. The channel is slowly growing, and it's going to grow a lot more. Good morning, Gerald. If I start making more videos, take some time and build more content for you guys. So that is in the works. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. What a move we got off of NVIDIA earnings. I don't know if you guys seen the actual earnings, but we had a scary 3% dip right in the middle of it. Apparently, Pete, you got some shares at 205. That is just awesome. Yeah, so the earnings, guys, were just something else. I got something more of a story to tell you guys, like what really happened under the guts of earnings. And it's not just that they beat earnings. Everyone knew they were going to beat earnings, but it's their commitments that really got memory, the neoclouds, and the photonic stocks to really rebound. All right, so that's what we're going to be focusing on today. I'll show you the story. I'll go into it fairly deep and let you guys know why the price is actually moving up and why everything else is catching such a move off the back of NVIDIA earnings. All right. So thank you guys again for being here. If you guys could hit the like button, that would mean so much to me. It's really helping the views accelerate. So that's awesome, guys. Thank you. Let's jump into it. US-Iran war update. Guys, what you need to know. Diplomacy is gaining traction. So we're starting to see a bit of a turn in the news cycle towards the war, all right? Qatar PM is heading to Tehran to restart U.S.-Iran talks. U.S. has paused military actions and is increasing economic pressure, okay? So that could be the thing that's making them really start to want to go back to the table, because you can't hurt somebody that doesn't care if they want to die militarily, but you can certainly hurt them financially. People usually care more about their money than their lives. So anyways, Hormuz shows small improvement. 10 vessels crossed the strait Wednesday versus 8 on Tuesday. All right. Oil prices are falling. Brent crude, 86.50. WTI, down 1.7%. Market sees diplomacy and reopening hopes. U.S. shifts to economic warfare, and that seems to be working. Iran is still resisting, though. Iran rejects U.S. pressure and calls it economic coercion. So let's just see. So we're having a bit of a positive move in the war. So that's really good to help stocks. An interesting article, guys. CIA chiefs warns Russia on NATO. Okay, CIA Director John Ratcliffe traveled to Moscow this week to warn Russia officials against attacking NATO members. So could this be the next big catalyst, Russia-US, or is it Russia-China? There's always a new catalyst right around the corner, guys, all right? And you have to be keeping your eyes open for them. If this Russia-US thing escalates, that's not going to be great. The same with the China-US thing, all right? So let's get into it, guys. NVIDIA earnings Q2 2026, all right? Earnings blowout revenue, 106% year over year, all right? This is really good. Revenue, 96 billion versus 92. That's a big beat, all right? So Jensen is saying now compute is revenue. Vera Rubin GPU production begins in Q3. Blackwell Ultra ramping at full speed, all right? So their earnings were fantastic. But why the rally is happening, guys, is because AI commitments are driving this rally. Why memory stocks and neoclouds are running. So what commitments mean? Or what does it mean, all right? NVIDIA's future supplier commitments exploded from about 119 billion to roughly 279 billion in one quarter, all right? So this is all the people they're supplying their products with, all right? This is the market's clearest signal that AI demand is being locked in years ahead, not just quarter to quarter. Why memory stocks are running. AI GPUs need massive amounts of HBM memory. If NVIDIA is locking up future supply now, the read-through is bullish for Micron, SK Hynix, Samsung, and the broader memory trade. Multi-year commitments can also improve pricing power and visibility. So why neoclouds are running. Nibius, CoreWeave benefit because NVIDIA is helping de-risk capacity buildouts. Capacity, guarantees, and committed demand can make lenders more comfortable facing new AI infrastructure. That helps neoclouds build faster and monetize GPU demand sooner. The bigger message here, though, this rally is bigger than one earnings beat. The signal is the AI spending is broadening from GPUs into memory, cloud capacity, and the full infrastructure stack. The bottom line here is the commitments matter because they suggest AI demand is staying huge for years. That's why NVIDIA, memory stocks, and neoclouds are moving together today. So this is the bigger story, guys. If you pay attention to one story I mentioned today, this is it, all right? This is the big one, okay? So, CrowdStrike. Software is back, baby. Listen, CrowdStrike blew out their earnings, okay? 25% year-over-year increase, okay? $1.47 billion versus $1.44. Cybersecurity demand is accelerating. CrowdStrike's AAR acceleration signals that enterprise cybersecurity spend is accelerating alongside AI infrastructure deployments. The broader CrowdStrike recovery from its 2024 outage is now complete. The business has re-rated to new highs. All right, so remember all that talk we had about SaaS is dead, AI is going to kill software? Well, guess what? No, it's not. It's going to accelerate it. Jensen was right, all right? So software could bounce hard here, guys, all right, on this story, on this whole theme, all right? AI plus cybersecurity tailwind. As AI infrastructure scales, endpoint, cloud, and identity protection remain critical spending priorities, reinforcing CrowdStrike's long-term platform demand. So as AI improves and gets more dangerous and smarter and everything else, they're going to need more cybersecurity. So this is why CrowdStrike and Salesforce are getting massive pumps this morning. Plus, their earnings were fantastic. Speaking of Salesforce, how did their earnings do? Their earnings were great. They're up 11% on the move. All right. Non-GAAP EPS printed 5.9 versus 3.27 estimate. An 80% beat. That's crazy. The most dramatic earnings surprise of the night. Revenue came in at $11.3 billion. That's a 10% year over year, meeting top-line expectations. Full-year EPS guide raised to 16.69, midpoint. So SaaS is back. If CRM can print an 80% EPS speed, the re-rating across the broader software sector could be significant heading into Q3 earnings season. AI ecosystem tailwind, guys. Salesforce's partnership with Anthropic supports its broader push into enterprise AI agents and agentic workflows. So software is definitely back, guys, okay? Take a look at it. And here we go. SaaS is back. AI agents are the re-rating catalyst. Okay, so what happened here is Agentforce is delivering margin leverage to Salesforce. CrowdStrike's AI-powered threat detection is accelerating ARR. AI agents are shifting from perceived threat to real revenue catalyst. Okay? The bottom line here is NVIDIA, CRM, and CrowdStrike together suggest AI spend is flowing from infrastructure into software monetization. Software, guys, take a look at it. I mean, ServiceNow is still hasn't bounced that hard, but yeah, it's very interesting, guys. So software is key today, moving forward over the next few weeks at least. All right. So we're going to be focusing on NVIDIA, memory, neoclouds, and software. That's your focus today, guys. All right. The next NVIDIA article, guys, NVIDIA to acquire Hugging Face for $19 billion. Reported deal would deepen NVIDIA's reach across the open source AI ecosystem. So remember how we're talking over the last week about open source versus closed source? A lot of the Chinese models are open source, and a lot of the US models like OpenAI, ChatGPT, and Claude are closed source, all right? So NVIDIA is widening their span, their reach, all right, by acquiring Hugging Face. Okay, so why Hugging Face matters? Hugging Face is a major platform for sharing and building open source AI agents. It's basically like the GitHub of open source AI. All right, now they've bought it for $12 billion. strategic read-through. Okay, the deal would deepen NVIDIA's reach across the AI software and model ecosystem. It would also strengthen NVIDIA against rival AI stacks built around non-NVIDIA chips. Okay, so this is very interesting. NVIDIA is getting into the open source AI market very, very deeply. Okay, so it's big. I mean, it's very important. It highlights how important open source models are becoming. Okay. Social media platform liability, guys. All right. So as we know, Meta settled their case, and I have an article coming up about that. But this here is a wider theme that you're seeing. All right. Social media platforms liability. A new regulatory regime is taking shape. Meta's $18 billion teen safety settlement is not the end of the platform liability exposure. It's a template. Regulatory shift. Pennsylvania suing Snapchat the same day, combined with the Ninth Circuit stripping Section 230 immunity shields, signals that states are building a coordinated playbook. Okay, Snapchat's down 8% because of this, and Alphabet is down 1.3%, showing the market pricing is contagion risk. All right, the stocks that benefit from regulatory clarity is Meta, with a known liability cost. Beat those that face open-ended exposure, Snapchat. All right. So this is basically what you have to look at here is what platforms will be next to get sued for teen damage or mental health damage. All right. So Meta was first. Now they settled. They settled their suit. All right. Okay, I didn't load the article. But anyways, Meta settled their lawsuit yesterday. And it was for roughly 16 to 18 billion they paid. So now that's all gone. Meta's suit is gone, and Meta caught a nice bounce yesterday. We'll take a look at the price action moving forward and see if this is really a nice bullish catalyst thing to get Meta to finally recover. Its PE is at all-time lows, I believe. Anyways, some negative articles, guys, some bearish articles. U.S. disrupts Chinese hacking network. DOJ and FBI seize domains tied to QScan and QRouter. Okay. The Justice Department and FBI seized domains tied to QScan and QRouter. U.S. officials say the platform supported a Chinese state-sponsored cyber attack. All right. So who were the Chinese targeting? Reported targets included the Justice Department, the Federal Reserve, NASA, and U.S. Senate. So again, like we've been focusing on, the China-U.S. battle is intensifying. It's always in the background, but it's kind of coming to the foreground right now. All right. Next on the hack front, OpenAI reports detailed AI agent hack. Nearly 700 AI agents took part in the Hugging Face attack. So the company that NVIDIA just acquired had a huge breach, and OpenAI bots attacked it and hacked it. Okay. OpenAI released a technical report on the Hugging Face breach. Okay. The agents communicated through unauthorized channels and coordinated with each other. They exploited shared infrastructure weaknesses, gained internet access, and accessed third-party systems. OpenAI said the behavior reflected reward hacking, solving tasks in unintended ways. So this, again, just highlights. When you look at these articles, you got to think, what's the bigger theme here? What's happening? What's the bigger implications? Cybersecurity, okay? Salesforce, all right? CrowdStrike. This is the exact thing that they're going to be needed for, all right? So we're seeing the real-world application of the big sale of software catalysts right here, okay? Very interesting stuff. If this gets worse, how much is software going to really accelerate, specifically in the cybersecurity area? All right. Trump administration mulls new tariffs on chips. All right. So new round of tariffs coming, possibly. It's not set yet. Administration weighing new tariff on chips. More U.S. goal is more U.S. manufacturing. All right. So they want to try to support the U.S. chip industry while putting tariffs on other chips. Plans would tie tariff relief to investment in the U.S. chip manufacturing and more local production. So let's just follow this story to see what happens here with these tariffs. Trump wants more chip protection in the U.S., but the approach, timing, and exemptions are still up in the air. Okay? So, guys, the main focus today is that the bounce is incoming. All right. NVIDIA earnings were great, but it was their commitments and the evidence that AI is still accelerating. All right. And the suppliers, who NVIDIA is supplying with all their products, are really catching a lift, mainly NeoClouds, memory, okay? And then software has a whole nother catalyst because SaaS is back, baby. All right, let's move on, okay? Hey, good morning, Alana. How you doing? Thanks for showing up again. You're a great guy, man. Thank you so much for showing up. I very much appreciate you showing up every day. Thank you so much. If you could hit the like button, that would mean the world to me, man. We're trying to grow the channel. All right? Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. Okay, let's jump into some earnings. All right, we know what happened already. NVIDIA earnings were fantastic, but it wasn't so much the number. It was the commitment section of their guidance, all right, of their talk that they gave, okay? The call, okay, the earnings call was really, really bullish for all of the people that are buying from NVIDIA because they've locked in big deals for the next few years. All right. NVIDIA earnings were great. Salesforce, CRM at fantastic earnings. CrowdStrike. Those are the software companies that are back. All right. Now, today before the open, Best Buy. But after the close, this is what we really want to pay attention to. Marvell. Marvell has had all kinds of upgrades lately. They're really getting a lot of lift from a lot of analysts on the street. All right. And how about IREN? IREN is down lately, guys, and, there's a big war between the IREN bulls and the Nibius bulls. I don't really get into it much, but IREN, I think, is under 40, so let's just see how their earnings go. But just know, guys, NVIDIA blew out amazing, and SaaS is back, all right? So how about the economic calendar? All right, we have nothing for today, and core PCE and prelim GDP from yesterday came in line, so it didn't do much. But Friday, we have Fed Chair Warsh speaking from the Jackson Hole Symposium, which is starting today, all right? So that could move markets. And then you have prelim payroll revision, okay, and Jackson Hole Symposium day 2. Very good. Let's jump into the charts, guys, because that's what we're here for. NASDAQ futures, all right, 8-hour chart, just to show you for the people that aren't here every single day. This is your big spot up top, your major level, 30,000. This is your big spot down low. All right. It's your gap close, which we basically closed the other day, but haven't completely closed it at 29, roughly 29,200. All right. Now let's zoom in down to the 1 hour and really break this down today, guys. All right. So we got our big move after hours on the NASDAQ futures because of NVIDIA earnings. Now, what are we looking for? It's the same thing every day, guys. Once we get those big moves in the pre-market up, we wait for the pullback, we wait for the turn, and we get our buys at really nice prices, all right? We buy the turn. We don't buy the top. We buy the pullback, all right? Now, my favorite spot today, guys, is right here, okay? Now, that's previous day high. That's the high from here. That's this low, all right? This is my favorite spot for a pullback long, all right? And that would be something like this, all right? That's great. You're entering here on these higher lows, okay? Fantastic. The next spot, guys, is right in here where my other orange dot is, okay? It is these highs right here, okay? It's kind of the middle of the road level it turned out to be from the price action this morning. But it's still a spot, so you want to pay attention to price action. But I would be favoring this one here, guys. This is a nice deep pullback into previous high. It's a very big spot. Previous day high is a very important level to have on your charts. So this is what I'm favoring. A stop loss goes under previous day high. Now, there's something else to really note on this chart, guys. All right? We have a gap from 30,000 down to 29,770. Does this, if we get this today, all right, over the next couple days, do we see this gap fill in? And then what do we do up in here? Do we reject this, all right? Or do we break over and turn that 30,000 into our next springboard? All right. I'm very interested to know what happens up here at 30,000 to 30,072. Very, very important. All right. So make sure you're aware of that gap and make sure you're aware of the 30,000 level because it's super critical. Okay. If we break and continue off of 30,000, that is your next move to the upside. That is the continuation everybody's looking for. All right. Hey, Mara, how's it going? Thank you so much for showing up. Man, I appreciate you being here. How is the trading going? How's Palantir looking? How about that Intel? I'm liking Intel right now. I really do. They have a lot of catalysts. They are hoping to build that semi factory in the U.S. I'm just picking up shares every time we dip. All right. So anyways, back to the futures. Thanks for showing up, Mara. Yeah, so this is kind of what I'm looking for over the next few days, this pattern here. And I really like this pullback into previous day high today, guys. Okay. The next thing you want to watch out for is the 20 daily SMA and the 50 daily SMA. All right. They're right in the middle of our pre-market action. That could make things a little tough this morning. So you want to watch the price action when we get to those SMAs. We're right in the middle of them right now, which makes it kind of tricky. But this is the spot I'm looking for, guys, for a pullback long today. All right. Let's just see if we can spot this on the NQ and be patient for it, guys. Don't buy the first 2-minute candle. If you can wait 3 or 4 2-minute candles, that's best. All right. Okay, guys. So this is what we're watching for. Great. All right. Now, any break under previous day high like this and we start to roll over, longs are not I'm not taking longs anymore at that point. All right. That'll show weakness. Yeah, man. Yeah. SOXL. Okay. The semiconductor. Yep. Awesome. Is that the leverage? The 3X levered, I think. The semiconductor ETF. Yep. Awesome. I like that. I think that's a smart play. That's nice and safe. You know what I mean? Buying ETFs is always a safe thing to do if you're not into like high risk stuff. You can really manage your positions well in that. And it's a triple levered ETF, I believe. So there's lots of possibilities for upside or downside there for sure. Okay, guys. So I think I've definitely covered this. I mean, you could watch here. If we hold here, you could take a long there. But my favorite one, guys, is right in here. All right. Right like that. And then look for the gap fill. Okay. 3X. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, I've traded that a few times. It's a great way to trade leveraged shares. That's for sure. Okay, guys. I can link this chart for you. Sorry I didn't do it already. There you go. You can just hit that and you'll have all the levels on your chart so you don't have to mark them in a big rush. But yeah, you always want to buy the pullbacks, guys. All right. Here we go. QQQ, guys. All right. Same kind of thing. It's very similar. We're looking for a pullback into here for buying today. All right. It's either going to be here off the 20 daily SMA or a little deeper down into previous day high in the 50 daily SMA. All right. 2 spots to gauge price action at. All right, very important. You can see we rejected our key spot up here already, and this was on my chart a while back. So 719.31 key rejection spot. So if you do get this long up into here, take some profits. Don't worry about trying to catch the gigantic move. And 722 to 725 is a massive level on your charts, guys. You definitely want to be taking profits if you get up into here. All right. Same thing goes for the NQ. If you get up into that gap fill area, you want to be taking some profits, guys. All right. So I hope that covers the QQQ. We're looking for pullback longs today, guys. Very important. Pullback longs. All right. You want to wait for the pullback. Okay. ES. ES is pretty clean today, guys. As you can see, we have a key double kind of top here. We have previous day high. It's exactly where we bounced already on the ES. All right. So what you're looking for is some kind of pullback into here. And then, stop loss goes here. Enter your position in here. You want to have the daily 20 SMA on your charts too, because that's going to be an important spot. Okay, so this is what we're looking for on the ES today. We want the pullback to previous day high and these highs here. It's pretty clean, guys. All right. Also, a deeper pullback could happen at some point into this previous all-time high. So watch out for that as well. Okay. And you want to be taking profits up into 7,740. All right. SPY. Okay, SPY is pretty clean. It's very similar. All right. Now, what do you notice on the SPY? It's the same thing on the ES. We're creating higher lows every time, guys. That's a very bullish signal. Okay. Now, we have a key level right here. All right. So what do you wait for on the SPY? You wait for the pullback. You wait for price action to confirm it wants to hold and continue, and you enter. Taking profits here, here. All right. It's simple. And you want to have the daily 20 SMA on your charts as well. You know, you could come down into that today and then reclaim previous day high. That's a very possible thing. But these areas of interest are not buy and sell signals on their own. You don't buy the first red candle into this level. You let it show you that it wants to continue, that it wants to do this, making higher lows and going. And you can enter on these here. You know, you don't buy the first red candle into a level. You wait for price action to develop, and then you get a solid read on volume and your market internals. You want to see your market internals being positive for your long purchases. All right. Okay, guys, perfect. That's the NASDAQ futures. If anyone needs me to go over that again, I have no problem doing it. Just tell me, all right? Just say, go over the NASDAQ futures again. You know, what exactly are you looking for here and there? That's fine. I don't mind doing that. I just don't want to stick around too long and bore you guys if you've already got the point, okay? Okay, guys, so the 10-year Treasury bond is up 0.2. That's basically flat. Oil is flat. The U.S. 30-year is flat. VIX is down 1.3. Okay, so that's basically flat. The VIX is down. That's bullish. The DRAM, look at all the ETFs. Wow, they're up right now. So we do need a pullback in some of these names to catch pullback longs, guys. The memory ETF, okay, it's accelerating quite a bit. And look what we have done, guys. We created the turn. I always speak of the turn. I made a video about the turn. All right. It's when you start to create these higher lows, all right? And it signals this here, all right? Very good. This was the inverted head and shoulders that really gave it away, all right? And then we created this one here. Beautiful, all right? This is what you want to see if you're buying these shares for the long term, all right? Very good. Now, our favorite spot today on the DRAM, guys, I don't believe we come back into here, but if we do, that's fine at 55. But it's this level right here at 59.34, and it's the 50 daily SMA. All right. If memory is going to be very strong, okay, you either get this here, a break, and then a retest, and you can take in long off of that retest, putting a stop here, or you're waiting for a pullback into previous day high. All right. Very good. Those are your two possible paths. SMH is next, Alana. Yep. No problem, man. All right. So really 55 and 52 are the big spots on the DRAM ETF. But this level here at 59 is quickly becoming a very big level. All right. So let's see if we can get this pullback and then reclaim the 50 daily and 59 and accelerate up. Every one of these is a buying opportunity, all right? You have to be able to spot these when the time comes, all right? That's why you need to become a master at reading price action. SMH, here we go, baby. Oh, yeah. I like this today, guys, because what's happening here? We are reclaiming a very critical level, all right? That's very bullish for the SMH. We'll break it down here for you, but look at how important this level is here, guys. All right. Major resistance turns into major support. Okay. So we can take this, and now that we've broken above it, what does this turn into? This turns into major support. All right. Bang. Very good. Now, what do we look for? We look for the pullback into this zone. Look what else we have. The daily 20. This could be a top setup to watch today, guys. I really like this. So when we create these levels, what we do is we break them, we retest them and turn them into new lows. Our entry goes there. We catch this move, stop loss under the daily 20. Beautiful structured trade, guys. The 20 daily SMA is right here at a nice spot to help us support it today. All right. So this was acting as resistance for a long time. Now we're above it. We're waiting for this. Entry, acceleration. Beautiful. Watch for this, Alana, today. I like this idea. I might take some longs in the SMH myself today. All right. Okay, guys, that's a very big, nice structured trade. I like that. And if you get the SMH to do that, then you want to be watching for NVIDIA, AMD, all your semi names, all right? TSM, okay? Very good. Let's look at the Photonics ETF, all right? And it's rejecting a critical level. So, yeah, Lana, I like your idea there with the SMH. I really, really do, okay? So we're rejecting a pretty key spot on Photonics. So when you see that, you want to think, let's see if we can't get a pullback into previous day high on Photonics. Great. Now, what's NeoClouds, guys? Nibius. CoreWeave. All right, this is the ETF that follows those names. And I just want to see us on the ETF. If you're going to take trades in Nibius, I want to see us hold up over previous day high. All right, I want to see something like this. I don't want to see us back in here. All right, very good. That's the NeoCloud ETF. Software. Wow, what an extent. Look at that rip. That's crazy. That's why SAS is back, man. All right. So we have a few levels that are interesting, but I really like the software ETF up against these highs in here. All right. You need some kind of a pullback in SAS. All right. It's way too extended. You need us to come back into here. All right. And do something like this. That would be great for taking trades in your software names, man. Salesforce, CrowdStrike, which we will take a look at in a minute. Okay, those are the ETFs. They're absolutely on fire. Okay, so let's look at our first one. NVIDIA. Man, is it accelerated. All right, we have this is kind of scary to trade when it's this accelerated. All right, you don't really want to be buying up here. All right, but we do have a fairly nice spot right in here. All right, and it's where I put my yellow circle for you guys today. We are showing we want to hold there, but we might have a deeper pullback on NVIDIA. All right, so you could possibly structure a trade off this level. All right, let's just see where. No, let's not do that. Anyways, my favorite spot is a pullback over time to the 20 and the 214, 213 level back in here. All right. Now that's a big pullback. So watch for your market to turn off of this, this, and this. All right. So you just want to see where NVIDIA starts to do the turn. All right. Does it turn there? Does it turn here? Or does it finally come down to our level and turn in here? All right. Very good. NVIDIA is really accelerated, guys. You really don't want to be chasing it up here. But I just wanted to show you how extended it really was. Okay, very good. Now, Salesforce, guys. Okay, we are very extended on Salesforce as well. So my pullback spot on Salesforce is right down into here at 212. All right, I don't think it does it today, but it could. All right, we're rejecting this spot. I turn that red. Okay. So let's just see what we do in here on CRM. All right, CRM, Salesforce. Do we reclaim this spot and do this? That could be great. Or do we finally come back down to my favorite spot in here? All right, that could be a great little trade on CRM at 212. Let's just monitor price and see how it goes. All right, you could also trade off of VWAP. All right, now VWAP on the 2-minute is going to look a lot different, I believe. Oh, no. Okay, we're under VWAP. So that signals that we could have a pullback on CRM back to our level. That's what I'll be waiting for, guys. All right. Very good. Let's move on. Okay, sorry. CrowdStrike, guys. Now, CrowdStrike has a nice structured spot. And I'm looking at these major previous highs. All right. You can see right here, we had major highs here. So it is right down into here. Okay. Let's see if we can do it today. Or we have a break over this key level here. Bouncing off the 20, reclaiming this. That could be great. All right. Or it's back into here over time. And just like that. Okay. Beautiful. Next trade, guys. Next possible trade. Let's look at ServiceNow. ServiceNow is kind of choppy. It's not the greatest setup in the world, but you just want to watch to see what it does back here at previous day high or at 127. All right. So you're looking for these stocks to pull back and turn for you, like back into here or back into here. All right. Those are the two spots I'm watching for on ServiceNow. Now let's take a look at Nibius, because this is really an interesting one today. This is one of my top watches because Nibius is up into the level I mentioned yesterday, guys. All right. We're up against these triple top highs. This is a big spot. It was rejections from last week. All right. So what do we do in here today? There's two ideas. One is that we just simply reject and roll over off it. That's fine. The next one is, do we break above it and reclaim it and rip higher? All right. This is a big spot to take a nice structured trade off. If you want to take your trades off of these big levels, all right, big inflection zones. The other thing to note on this chart is that we have previous day high, the 50 daily and the 20 daily. So this could pull back into here like this and then start to reclaim where you put your stop loss under the daily 20. This is a big spot here. So do we do this or do we maybe do this, which would be a great trade as well? So Nibius, top watch, guys, top watch. All right. Let's see what's next. Bloom Energy. We are holding a key spot on Bloom. It has all the big news catalysts from Nancy Pelosi buying the shares, and we're at a pretty nice spot. So let's just see what we do on Bloom Energy up against previous day high. All right. Do we do this? Stop loss goes under here. That's the Bloom Energy look. All right. Awesome, guys. Marvell, really hot stock. Okay. Really nice spot we're at right now. We are moving up big time. All right. We have a key 250-ish level. All right. There's two spots to take this Marvell trade off of. One is right here on a pullback. The next one is previous day high pullback. All right. Beautiful. Marvell, really hot. Okay. Hot. Nice stock. Now, let's look at MU because memory is super hot. I really like this setup today. Where's the spot, guys? You guessed it. 50 daily SMA right into this critical zone right in here. This could be a banger today, guys. If we can just get this pullback. It's just such a hot stock, right? And memory is catching a lift because of how it is one of the customers of NVDA, and we've seen the commitments I mentioned earlier on in the show. All right, this is why NeoClouds and memory are all running this morning, and the software is super hot too. So those are your three sectors to focus on. All right, you're focusing on memory, you're focusing on NeoClouds, and you're focusing on software. All right. As well, the SMH is hot because of NVIDIA. So all four of those sectors are super hot this morning. You need to identify the setups that are the best, meaning which stocks have the best technical setups, because they have the news catalyst already. All right. That's what you try to do. Pair your news catalyst with your levels, with the broad market, and with your market internals. And that is the success. The level for success in trading, guys. You really need to focus on those four things. All right. News catalyst, technical levels on the 4-hour or the daily, broad market, market internals. Okay. Wait for confirmation. Size appropriately. Okay. Very good. Yeah, Mara, no problem, man. Thank you so much. If you could hit the like button, thank you so much, man. Thank you. We'll see you soon. Okay. So this is what we're looking for on MU today. All right. Very good. SanDisk, guys. SanDisk, I really, really need a pullback to previous day high. All right. That would be great. But we do have another spot on SanDisk right here. All right. Let's see what SanDisk does either in here or at previous day high. If we break back under previous day high on a lot of these stocks, I'm not interested in longs anymore because that would mean that this continuation has failed for the time being. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Let's take a look at Palantir. I know Mara left, but the Palantir setup today. And how about that trade yesterday, Pete? Me and Pete had a really nice trade on Palantir yesterday, and you did really well, man. You held that for a long time. You really captured a nice move there. Okay, so Palantir again is looking strong, guys. We have a nice spot to take a trade off of on Palantir. Let's just see if it can pull back into here and hold today. All right, that could be a great, great trade. Okay. Okay, that's, oh no, one more, guys, Amazon, because I've been speaking about this for a while now, and Amazon is at a key level. Very, very nice spot on Amazon. It is this previous high. It is this high. It is all the lows from last week and this week. Look at this spot on Amazon, guys. You have to have this on your charts right here. Previous day low, Amazon. This could be really, really nice right in here. Acceleration. I'm watching this like a hawk today. All right. Yeah, you could have. No, you did great to hold that as long as you did, Pete. Like, I think that was great. I think that was a really great trade, man. Like, you did really well on that one. So, as you can tell, guys, the semiconductors are hot, memory's hot, and software is really hot, and the neoclouds. So, focus on those. All right. I'm going to be focusing on NVIDIA, CrowdStrike, Salesforce, Nibius, Bloom Energy, and MU. Those are my stocks I'm focusing on. You could also watch Meta to see if it gets up into our huge 600 level. Major resistance on Meta at 600, guys. Okay? Right here. You would have had a beautiful short when we bounced into it the other day. But if there's one spot to have on your chart for Meta, it's 600, okay? One of these days soon, we're either going to do this again for a monster short, or we're going to reclaim 600 and we're going to rip higher. I can't wait for it, guys. Thank you so much for showing up. I appreciate every single one of you guys. If you could hit the like button, that would very much make the show grow, guys. You can't believe how much it's helping the show grow. Thank you so much. And guys, be safe out there. Size correctly. Make sure you trade with the broad market and your market internals, and follow your sector ETF when you're trading an individual name in that sector. All right? Have a great day, guys. Be safe out there. We'll see you in the next one. I so much appreciate your guys' support. I'm going to try to grow this channel for you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Later, guys.